If you're a creative person, you might have noticed that there is a lot of pressure to commodify your hobbies. If you're good at making something, you'll have people asking you if you sell it, or you might notice that there are lots of other people online who have grown massive followings doing what you do. And you can start to feel like you're missing out on an opportunity if you're not also trying to turn your hobby into some kind of consumable item. I've gotten a lot of value out of the sewing community here on YouTube, from instructions to pattern recommendations, ideas, and inspiration. And I started this channel because I wanted to be a part of that community. I also figured that if I was going to be sewing anyway, it wouldn't take that much extra effort to set up a camera and film the process. What I didn't realize was that filming myself sewing completely took the fun out of the process of sewing. It instantly doubled or tripled the amount of time that it would take me to complete a project, and it made sewing go from being this thing that I was doing for fun and that felt very creative to being something that felt more like work. Instead of looking forward to sewing, I kind of started to dread it because it wasn't just sewing. I couldn't just jump right in and do this thing that I love to do. I had to first set up the cameras, set up the lighting, all these extra steps. And they started to become barriers to me actually sewing. In the early days of this channel, most of the videos I was making were tutorial type videos. They were like step by step, every detail in the process of me making something. So they were quite intensive to make. I stuck with it for a while, thinking that it might eventually get easier. I had made 6 videos and I was planning to make the next one using the same fabric that I had used in the video where I turned an IKEA duvet cover into a dress. I was going to use that fabric to make a button-down shirt. I've made button-down shirts before. They're not that hard to make, but when you film it, you realize there are a lot of steps involved in making a button-down shirt. But I filmed the whole thing, and then I got to the editing stage, and I had hours and hours of footage to go through, and I probably got about halfway through editing it and just completely lost the motivation to keep going with that video or with the YouTube channel in general. I was starting to think, why am I doing this? Editing was taking away time that I could have been sewing, and filming was taking the fun out of my hobby. So I quit for a while. I stopped filming myself sewing and just started enjoying sewing again. But what I realized after taking a few months away from YouTube is that I didn't have to completely scrap the idea of having this channel. There are other ways of making videos. I don't have to make tutorials. I don't have to film every step. Right now, I think the majority of the content I'm going to be sharing on this channel is going to be pattern recommendations and me sharing various things that I've worked on. I don't know if I'll ever put out the button-down shirt video in the way that I was intending to put it out, but I wanted to end this video with the reveal footage so that you can see the projects that I made for that video and how they turned out. If you're someone who's thinking about turning your hobby into content, I wanted to make this video to let you know it's okay not to. It's okay to have something that you do just for fun. And if you do decide to turn your hobby into a YouTube channel, I think it's really important to, from the beginning, start thinking about how can you do that in a way that isn't going to make your hobby feel like work. Maybe it's about having an easy setup so you don't have to spend a ton of time putting up cameras and lights before you film something. Maybe it's about making videos that are more just you talking to the camera and sharing your experiences as opposed to showing all the little steps involved in the process. Or maybe you're someone who loves filming all of those details and doesn't mind doing it, and that's fantastic. I know that I have gotten so much value out of watching those kinds of tutorials on YouTube, and I really appreciate the fact that there are people who are willing to put in the effort to do that. If you're subscribed to my channel, or if you decide to do so after watching this video, you're probably not going to see a lot of tutorials from me, but what you will see is pattern ideas, recommendations, and discussions about what we're currently working on. And on that subject, I would love to hear what you're working on right now, so let me know in the comments. It's so much fun to hear about all of your exciting projects. And I have some very exciting projects that I'm looking forward to sharing with you in upcoming videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. It means a lot to me. And thanks so much for watching all the way to the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!